Yeah, hi. Good evening, friends. Long time I was absent from my channel. So, since your exam is approaching very soon, next week, and I thought of making some videos for you because this is a crucial time for all of you guys who are going to appear in NEBOSH IGC exam on 3rd of February. So, a few things very important in today's session we'll be discussing, especially the feedback from NEBOSH results mainly is not very good, and we'll be looking at some of the critical points, some of the mistakes we'll be learning lesson from, which your earlier colleagues have done already, and they suffered a lot by failing the course. So we'll be discussing some critical points here in today's session. So, guys, I'll be starting from a very important point, which is selection of your learning partner. Most of the questions I received from many fellows on the channel, it seems to me very basic questions. And if their learning partners are not preparing them very well, if they are not providing them certain information, then for sure how we can expect a good preparation for the exam. So this is responsibility of your learning partners to make sure that each one of you is properly prepared for exam to pass the exam. So important thing is, guys, selection of your learning partner. We start from a very basic thing, and most of the time people they go with all of those learning partners, training providers who are offering you very cheap rates and all that. For sure there is a quality matter also at the end of the day. So before selecting your learning partner, you need to be very careful. Always go with those organizations who have good success rates, and the most important thing is whether they are directly approved by NEBOSH or not. So one of the key is there is always an approved training provider number issued by NEBOSH, like the one we are providing. It is 1349 Training Center. So you can simply go to NEBOSH website and you can check whether this learning provider is approved by NEBOSH, accredited by NEBOSH to provide certain training or not. This is very easy to make your research before you select your learning partner. So, guys, the benefit of going with approved learning partner is that he will never back off. He will be standing with you even if you fail the course. You can re-register. You can always expect ethics, higher quality of ethics out of those approved learning providers. They will be using approved trainers. They will be using approved literatures and all that. So the most important thing is the selection of your learning partner. Once you have selected your learning partner, now the next thing is the quality of training they provide. Your trainer should be really good enough, who have knowledge, who have expertise to prepare you to pass the exam, because at the end of the day candidates are spending hell of money for these qualifications. They are sparing time. So all of these things are only successfully done once your trainer is very good. So your trainer, mainly what is the definition of a good trainer is who should provide you with adequate information, who should provide you with good examples to make sure that you are understanding the concepts, because now the situation is changed. NEBOSH is not looking at the memorization part, which was previously there when the invigilated exams were there. So mainly people were memorizing things, they were reproducing the same things which are in the book. Now situation change. You have to prove your point using a vast variety of resources, vast variety of knowledge and all that. Sometimes there is one question only, and out of that one question you need to consult 3, 4, 5 areas of knowledge to make sure that you are adequately answering that question. So this is the key mainly. So your trainer should be really good enough to prepare you, should use proper examples to make sure that candidates are understanding the concepts or not. Another important point is how you are going to prepare once you have got the training, 10, 11, 12 days training from the approved training provider. Now the ball is in your court. So if you have understood the training properly, if you got good knowledge from your training provider. Now, how to prepare? Guys, reading a book is very crucial. You have to read the book 2 3 times to make sure that you understand all the concepts. No need to memorize, but you understand all the concepts and you should know where I can find certain information. For example, in your exam, there's a question on audit. So you should know audit is in which topic you studied, and that only will come when you will be consulting your book and all those literatures which are provided by your training provider. So book is very well written. I've seen the syllabus is properly designed. Licensed syllabus is licensed books are available in the market. So you can use those books. There are key information boxes, there are summaries, there are details in the book. How to read a book is a question mark here. So usually people looking at those two thick books, their energy levels goes down and they usually pull back and they decide to go with selective study, which is very wrong for these open book exams. So the right way of reading a book is first open up your book. For example, you are preparing for first topic, open up your book and go back at the end of the topic, of the end of the element, and go and open up the summary of the element. So summary is in bullet points usually. Read down the summary completely and then you go and start from the first page and start reading. So these summary points, main points, will give you an idea what is discussed in that topic, and then further details you will go back and see in the book. So it will be quite easier more to remember, to know what is discussed, what is the concept. Key information boxes are focused informations which are on certain topics. For example, direct cost, indirect cost, this is in key information box. So it will give you an idea what is a direct cost, what are the examples of direct cost or indirect cost, for example. In the same way, all these elements will carry some information boxes, summaries. So just start reading those in detail. And as I told you earlier, no need to memorize things, no need to keep things here. Okay, the book is with you, the references are with you, the key sources of information are with you. The only thing is you should know what is the question being asked by examiner and how I need to design my answer so that I cover everything within those limited word count requirements. This is how you have to approach the exam. Now on the day of exam, the exam is in front of you, and the first thing you will be doing, as we discussed many times earlier also in my videos, that you need to be a master of scenario. You need to open up the scenario and you need to read the scenario 3-4 times to make sure that you are not going to miss out any information provided by examiner in the scenario. So once you have a grip on scenario, now you start reading your questions, the tasks, okay, given by NIBOSH in the exam. So reading out the task for sure and making up your summary of your scenario for sure, as we discussed earlier also. Now you are in a very good position where you need to do a brainstorming, you need to do a mind mapping to make sure that whatever is asked in the question, you are going to find out sources of information to fill that gap which is in your answer shape. So you are going to select information sources to further develop your answers accordingly. So now guys, if you have done a good research on scenario and if your understanding on the question is very well, half of your job is done here. Now you need to go for information searching in your book, in the internet sources, in the websites, or whatever material you have. And after doing a mind mapping, you need to design your answer accordingly. One thing should be made sure that you are not writing in bullets only 1 2 3 4 5. Your answer should be in a different format where you are providing detailed answers, mainly 2 to 3 lines point, okay, not a bullet point. Many times people are repeating the questions on the channel also, so they are asking me how we need to write in numbers or in bullets or what. This is again and again I'm telling you, friends, that it is very clearly written on the question paper itself that very short answers will not be considered for marking, and very detailed answers for sure. You have the bar of the word count also there. So you need to be staying within the lines. Okay, 2 to 3 lines point. You can add up some example. You can define it in your own way, but not simply copying and pasting information from some of the sources, from internet sources, will solve the problem. Okay, so uh, as I told you that sometimes you get a question where you need to put 3 4 5 type of informations from the book. So unless you have read the book, unless you have clarified your concepts, you will not be able to answer. Guys, expectation of examiner is very high here in open book exam. They are going to give you a real life scenario with full of problems sometime, and you are the master of that scenario. You need to put yourself in that scenario and you need to find answers and solutions. This is what is required out of your knowledge. So guys, once you prepare, another important point here is that you need to make sure that uh, you are practicing very well to prepare for your exam. And from where your practice will come, you need to take different scenarios, old exams, and see how to solve them. Old scenarios, you will read out the scenario and try to solve the questions. And mainly in our channel, there are 2 3 exam fully solved available. So you will get proper idea how a question was asked and how the answer was given. So these are some of the sources for you to prepare for the exam. And the most important thing is you need to be very well ready with the sources of information. Before the exam date, you need to list down some of the sources of information, especially the web sources, so that on the day of exam, now you are not going and typing in the Google always and you are finding the sources of information. Sometimes it is time consuming. So well before time, you need to make a research on the sources of information. And for health and safety, there are typically important websites, as we discussed earlier also: hse.gov, ILO website, IOSH website, OSHA websites. So these are some of the common websites where you will find the information, and especially when we talk about facts and figures, you need to go and find out in the ILO website. So these things, once you have it on tips before exam, on the day of exam, you are not confused which source of information, from where I need to bring some information to make my answer well. So this research should be done well before time on your rough work, and you should keep these sources handy so that on the information day, on the exam day, you are not panicking and you are not thinking what source of information I have to use. So these are some of the important tools you need to be preparing for exam very well. Okay, some people are still asking me questions whether I need to handwrite the exam or it should be in the typing format. Guys, these things should be very clear to you. Open book exam is always in typewriting. You will download the file, you will fill out that information in the file by typing, and you have to upload again and you need to submit. So I'm not saying that you should not ask questions, but before asking a question, it should be a quality question so that we are not wasting each other's time. I'll be coming up with another video very shortly, in which I'll be giving you very important information on what could be the answers from all those 4 or 5 elements in your IGC 1. Expected questions. Okay, so for sure in the scenario based exam, many type of questions can come, but I made my own research and I come up with certain 5 6 questions from each topic, and those are commonly asked questions. Okay, comment on the financial or moral of the company, for example, and accordingly we'll be discussing in my next video. But before that, guys, my intention is for all of you to pass the exam in good grades, and that's why this channel was made. That was the intention, and I'm very happy, and I would like to share with you that I received many messages that many people have seen these videos and they passed the exam with the distinctions and credits. So it gives me good feeling always that okay, finally my work is helping someone, supporting someone in the communities. That is the intention. Another important thing, guys, don't come back to me and ask me to help you on the day of exam. This is unethical. So please, you need to understand, you need to keep the ethics on top, and you need to make sure that you're not going to ask me something where I cannot help you and I have to say no to anyone. So this is quite crystal clear that I cannot help anyone on the day of exam. You might not find me on the day of exam. At the end of the day, I have ethical responsibility with NEBOSH. I'm approved trainer, I'm approved assessor, and I'm approved interviewer also. So how can I help you under the table when on the front I am approved trainer and I am approved assessor and interviewer also. So please don't ask me any support, any help. Even for GC2, I receive many messages to help me in making my report and all that. This is none of my business. My business is to prepare you very well. And believe me, there is no shortcut in the life. At the end of the day, if you pass your exams, you are going to face an interview with the examiner as well as with the employer also. So if you don't have knowledge, enough knowledge, for sure, somewhere in the life you are going to go down. So better you prepare well, guys. And all my best wishes are with you. And I'll be coming up with few videos before your exam. I am planning to have an open day where we'll have some question answers. So it might be a webinar type of a thing before your exam, so that any ambiguities, any problems you are facing, we can have direct live chat through a webinar. So I ask my team to prepare for a webinar, and once it is ready, things are okay, I'll be sharing with you the link also for the webinar. So best of luck, stay tuned, we'll see you in another video. Thank you very much.